How's it going, boys? Welcome back to the zennyalta channel. If you can't hear, I got a bit of a scratch in my voice. I've been sucking people off too much, and I need I need some water in me. I smoke too much cigarettes. Boys, I want to just go on a bit of a tangent today, just about something that's been on my mind for a little bit. And let's start this video off with a story. So recently, I've been kind of just perusing YouTube, looking for new content creators, good content creators. I'm in the kind of cycle right now where I'm off the fantasy football stuff for now, and now I'm trying to find like a new little thing to get into. And I ran into a Technoblade video. It was the Mr. Beast $10,000 refrigerator video, and I watched the whole thing. And you guys know who Technoblade is. I'm not gonna pretend like no one knows who he is. And it was a very good video. It captivated me. It kept my attention the whole time. I loved that video. And I started watching more Technoblade videos. You know, I watched the mayor one. I watched the potato shit. I watched all of it. And then I got the bright idea to try and watch the Mr. Beast video that came from the Technoblade video. And what happened next was a headache, pretty much. My YouTube recommended got flooded with a bunch of fucking videos that said like, oh, people who watch Technoblade also like to watch this. And, the titles were kind of interesting, so I decided, hey, why not click on it? And every single one, I couldn't watch past the 30-second mark. I don't know if this is because of me becoming a boomer and I'm losing my relatability, but I absolutely hate this new style of editing that is just motion graphics and S-shake fucking everywhere, and the saturation boosted up, and they have to have a shot every second, or else you got to keep the retention up. You got to keep people watching, because that's the only thing that matters. This new style that I guess Mr. Beast, if anyone, popularized, it's just terrible. It's like, it's way too high energy. There's way too many cuts. People focus on the fucking preset transitions, and they're like, wow, this editing is so good. And you look at content nowadays, and you look at it from like even 3 years ago, and it just feels so artificial, and it feels so disingenuous, and it just feels like you're taking something that can be like an art, and you're just turning it into a game of watch time and retention and fucking click-through rate and all that stuff. There's one YouTuber I used to watch all the time, Arak. I was going to say his name is Arak. You may not have heard of him. You know who Arak is. He has like 10 million subs. I remember watching him back when he first started, and he had, his videos always had the kind of like Logan Paul-esque vibe, but they were interesting, and they built character, and they actually took their time with certain parts. Nowadays, it's just, there has to be a glowing text effect every 2 seconds. There needs to be subtitles with a little pop-in effect. There needs to be a transition, a big booming transition that you got off of like Mr. Horse. There needs to be so many things that people add to their videos nowadays. It feels like, anyway, and it just feels so fake, and I can't watch it for that long. It just doesn't. I'd rather watch something that feels more real to me, right? I said before I was really into the fantasy football type stuff. Right now, like the fantasy footballers and like BDGE or Fantasyland or those people. And one of the reasons that I feel like I'm drawn to them and not some sort of fucking real tuber who does it, right, is because they just sit down and they talk in front of a microphone, and they just talk about football. They keep the shit in, they keep the mistakes, they keep the shitty editing, they keep everything, man. And it's not great, it's not perfect, and I'm sure they could do so much better analytically if they didn't do that, but it doesn't. A couple of years ago, I used to equate the view count to quality. If it has a higher amount of views, more people watched it, that means more people liked it, that means it's a good video. That was my synopsis. And I've come to learn that that's not true in the slightest. And I know that I'm not going to be changing anybody's mind here. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who think how I thought when they were small. And they're like, oh, if I just get 100,000 views on a video, that means I made a good video. And it's just not true. Your videos aren't good because of the view count. It's good because of the work you put in and the idea about it and the execution of it. It's all important when making a good video. I've just been thinking a lot about what I really want to do and what I really like about making videos. And I've always been drawn back to the same people. There's Nick Robinson, who's like makes professional style documentaries. But if you listen to his voice and if you hear his scripts, it just sounds like a guy who's passionate about a game he's talking about. There's people like KK Clue, who I think has incredible editing. And I've taken some of his stuff. Like, I've straight H-Bomber guy plagiarized it, dead ass. But he doesn't have to hyper edit his videos to make them good and watchable and interesting the whole way through. He just talks in front of a microphone, puts it together, and just does it so superbly, where it not only is interesting the whole way through, but it feels comfortable the whole way through. There's a YouTuber I was watching. Their name is Toffee Bun. I think they've only made like 2 videos. They make great videos. Their whole vibe is just absolutely stellar. And again, it's really professionally done, but it's not high energy, hyper edited, retention grabbing garbage. It's just good quality shit. That's what I think I really want to start making that. And I think after this medic video and after this other challenge video I've been working on, I really want to try doing more laid back stuff like that, just to see what it's like. I mean, I may not stick to it, but I just want to see what that's like. I really do feel like I've fallen into the retention bait garbage a little bit. Again, you know, the J cuts and all that stuff. I don't think that they're bad tricks per se, but, you know, I'm just one step away from being just another Minecraft tuber who does the same exact thing, right? If I were to place money on this, I think that the pendulum is swinging the other way now. If you look at popular creators, like Mr. Beast, for example, his latest videos have really slowed down. If you actually try watching them, they're fast-paced and attention grabby for the first minute or so, and then it really slows down. And it goes through the hardships, and it goes through like character growth, and it makes you care about the contestant. And that's really admirable. And those are really admirable traits. And I really like how his team is starting to focus on that more, because for years it feels like this type of content has been missing the most important part, which is a soul. And I feel like it's finally coming back into the mainstream. So I really do think if I were to place my money on what's the next trend, I think that cozy content is going to be the next big thing. If my intuition means anything, you know, for being an avid YouTube viewer for God knows how long, I really do believe that cozy content is the next wave of popular content. I think people just want to start feeling comfortable watching a creator and not just mindlessly engaging with it, you know, with their likes and subscriptions and all that stuff. Yeah, that's about it, boys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. I'll see y'all later, boys.